From the get-go, it's instantly clear that Forza Motorsport 5 is here to accelerate Forza's transition from a series that simply features cars to one that truly celebrates them. And it's a philosophy that extends from UK Top Gear host Jeremy Clarkson's slightly wistful opening montage.
Cars are some of the most intoxicating, most beautiful things ever.
To deep within the guts of career mode. Thanks to a well-chosen bunch of unprecedentedly lavish car models and the help of all three hosts of UK's Top Gear, Forza 5 is a virtual love letter to every vehicle it contains. And while the overall track count teeters on the wrong side of thin, and the lack of dynamic time or weather stings, it's one that's technically very hard to fault. Featuring just over 200 cars, Forza 5 is several hundred cars shy of Forza 4's eventual count of well over 600. The important thing is that every car that did scrape into Forza 5 for launch deserves to be here. Iconic classics, cutting-edge current models, world-famous race cars, and for the first time, hardcore open-wheelers. It's all wheat and no chaff. Except maybe that Beetle. The best place to dribble over them is in Forza Vista mode, where they look absolutely remarkable. You can't pop the hood on everything, but the level of attention paid to even the smallest of details can be downright astonishing. On track, however, things are equally impressive. Supremely realistic lighting slides over bodywork, casting impeccable shadows. It's not universally beautiful though. Small effects like tyre smoke and the puffs of dust kicked up by cars putting a wheel off track don't amaze, and the rudimentary pit stops look uncharacteristically shonky. The audio, however, is uniformly excellent, whether it's the chirping of tyres under brakes or the throbbing of a helicopter overhead. And the engine notes? Well, they're better than ever. Just listen. Unsurprisingly, the cars handle as good as they look and sound. It'll certainly feel familiar enough to returning Forza fans, but there's more nuance to how the cars shift about in their newly modelled suspension, and more bite to the way tyres cling to the asphalt. The Xbox One controller's haptic triggers give you feedback on when your wheels are slipping under the throttle and losing grip under braking, and I was surprised at how much this adds to the driving experience. It'll take you a while before you're able to try all the cars because there's been a change to the way we're allowed access to them. Forza 5's somewhat neutered free play mode only lets you use your own garage cars or rent one for free from a small selection, and driver levels no longer come with a reward car at every promotion. It's a bit disappointing, although it does make you think harder about and become more attached to the cars you ultimately do buy. As always, cars can be upgraded, tuned and painted. The best tunes and designs will be curated and suggested to players. I can't say I was a massive fan of defacing my cars to this extent, but you don't have to apply a design. Thankfully, opponent designs can be switched off too, so if you prefer the traditional look over racing against a bunch of gaudy Hot Wheels also-rans, you're covered. The whole reason you'll be at the mercy of other racers' taste in tribal vinyls, however, is because of Forza 5's seriously cool new Drivatar AI. In single player, Forza 5 will pit you against opponents which race according to the real-life driving behaviours of the Forza players they're based on. Racing is a whole lot more dynamic and unpredictable as a result. The other cool thing is that even when you aren't playing Forza 5, this AI based on your behaviour is, and each time you log in, you'll collect credits based on your Drivatar's performance. Forza 5's track selection is also down from Forza 4, but the ones that are here are largely very good. New additions like Bathurst and Spa are genuine highlights. These highly technical world-class circuits are immensely fun to lap around, although it'd be nice if it wasn't seemingly breakfast time on half the courses, so the sun wasn't always assaulting my face. There are just 14 track locations, so although most have more than one layout, the final track count is arguably on the wrong side of light. You'll generally find yourself hitting the same courses at least once in basically every race series. However, there's no shortage of stuff to do on the tracks we do have. The varied racing series will keep you busy for a long time, and all of them are introduced by one of the Top Gear lads, who will personally explain the significance of the participating cars. The credibility and humour these voiceovers bring to Forza 5 really works.
These are the dream cars of our times, made from stuff that hadn't even been discovered just a few years ago and developed by men with dashing, heroic names like Dario, Valentino and Alan.
Then there's Rivals mode returning from Forza 4, which constantly rewards you with cash and XP for beating the player ahead of you, and will again encourage many late nights chasing one more ghost. The standalone Rivals mode features again too, with custom events hinged around certain tracks and cars. Of course, there's also robust multiplayer for when you want to race real people rather than Skynet versions of them. The racing is fairly typical, but it's also highly customizable.
Tread carefully and pack fresh undergarments.
Forza 5 is gorgeous and smooth as butter, and its utterly enchanting handling makes it a joy to drive hard. But this game is more than just a rock-solid technical titan for the Xbox One. It's an essential destination for the automobile obsessed. It may be lighter on girth than where we left off last generation, and still lacking much requested features like night racing and rain, but wrestling a car through some of the world's most legendary corners at the very limits of adhesion has never looked or felt this good on console. As a result, Forza 5 is a very hard game for a rev head like myself to dislike. For everything on Forza Motorsport 5, stay on IGN. For now, just remember, you don't lift at the chase.